Hi, Tim Sales here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about when a prospect that you're talking to doesn't want to join because they're afraid of doing harm to another. So this series of videos, I'm talking about what prevents somebody from joining. And I was having a dialogue with a person just the other day. And the person shared with me his feeling that he had had an experience before in his past where he was in a sales position and he pushed a person to do something that ended up having that person lose money, right? Or didn't get exchanged enough for what they paid, all right? And so he kind of felt bad because he pushed that person along and he doesn't, like that was bothering him. All right. So this is such a legitimate and real thing. And if you go back a couple of videos back, I did a video on Is Network Marketing Professional? And in there, I was kind of like around this same area. And what it has to do with is that your ethics has to be right. A person, like it's really, really hard to go a long term. If you're a good person, it's hard to go long time or long term in a business that you are harming people. Okay. And so, this conversation kind of, is my experience about doing it for a long time, being able to do it for a long time because of that ethics, and then also assigning responsibility to the person that I bring into the business and me having a responsibility. All right. And so I'm going to share with you how I work all of this out and able to be very successful with it. All right. So, it's transparency and rules of engagement are the key. All right. So the transparent rules of engagement are the key. In other words, what is the person who is doing the recruiting? What's that person's job? What do they need to get done? And then the person who's being recruited, what does that person do? Okay. So that's what this conversation really is. And so it is, whose responsibility that is, how much responsibility is on you, and how much responsibility is on the new rep. That's what I was trying to say there. All right. You are not the opportunity, right? So I've done this in another video, and you're the messenger. You're the person carrying the message. If you invite somebody to church, you're not saying, I'm God, right? Or that I can forgive your sins or something. You know what I mean? You're not doing that. You're just saying, let's go to church, right? If you invite somebody to yoga or the gym, you're not saying, I'm going to make you fit. Okay. And in network marketing, you're not saying, I'm going to make you rich. You're not saying, I'm going to cure something because of my product. Right? It's more just like, hey, let's go to the gym, right? If you invite someone to college or a vocational course, you are not going to make them known or make them know the subject. Like if you look at college today, some of these colleges like are making $3 billion. Okay. Like $7 billion. Saw it today. I was looking it up and I'm like, whoa. And meanwhile, wages have, inflation adjusted, haven't gone up, except for the top like 20% or so. And so, in the school system, there's, okay, we're here to teach you, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's the same way in network marketing. So let me just show you how I work this out. Number one is that on the company, state only what I know is true. All right, truth. So I'm not going to embellish something. That's the main thing that I want you to say, because that is what's going to cut the length of time that you will want to do this. Because if you lie, embellish, or anything, then it's going to shorten your time because you're going to feel bad about it. Right? If you're always straight up and honest, somebody says, when is this country going to open? and I say, you know what, I've got a strong rule on that. I don't say. When is this app going to be available? Well, every app that I have ever worked with in my life, whatever the launch date is stated, I always add a year, right? And so I don't oversell. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Products, I don't exaggerate. I state what they do, period. Right? Business, don't exaggerate. People do earn blank. People do earn zero. Right? So, I'm gonna walk you through something in just a second. But state what they will be doing. Big one. In fact, I put somebody through a test before I'm willing to sponsor them, and I'm going to put you through it in just a second. All right. So just so that you know what it is, it's simple, but make sure that they understand it. I have to know that they know what they would be doing if they were to join me. All right. So I walked them through something unrelated, and I said, I'm going to walk you through real estate. And I'm just going to take you and just say, you're somebody who started in a real estate agent course. Okay. And so you went through all of these attrition gates and you made it and you got your license. Okay. So right here, you passed the exam. Okay. And then now right here, every year, these are the numbers. And 12,500 people did not sell one home. Why not? And they'll normally say, well, they didn't want it. And I say, okay, well, that could be part of it, but let's get real, specific. Let's say on the day-to-day of life, what didn't they do? And so I showed them, I go, so let me just give you a little hint. And I'll say a $225,000 home, which is the average, gives a commission of $5,000. All right. So in order to make $5,000, you need to sell 10 homes. Okay. And $50,000 would give you the median income of a real estate agent. All right. And so, but you're going to have to move some volume. So let's say that you had to move 10 homes, or I don't know, let's call it 10 leads across the pipeline. Okay. So you'd have to generate a lead. And I walk them through. I go, what do? They generate a lead, maybe a sign in the yard or something like that. And then somebody calls them and they set an appointment to show the house. Right? Does that make sense? And they're like, yeah. And I go, okay, can you think of anything else that they do? He's like, no. I go, yeah, that's all they do. So they're going to generate leads, they're going to contact, they're going to put them in front of the house, and eventually they're going to sell one, right? Okay, so if 12,500 people don't sell a house after going through all of this process, what didn't they do? That's what I do with every single prospect that I talk to. When they get down the road and they're wanting to do it, I have to put them through this little piece. It's a test for me. And I have to keep on going back and forth until they say the words. I'd have to put enough prospects across the pipeline. I say, good. All right. So if you were in network marketing, the same 710 start over here, and between 700,000 here and 578, there's about, let's call it about 200,000 people didn't sell one product. Why didn't they sell one product? Right? And they have to say it is leads across the pipeline. Okay? I want them to know it 100%. I'm not trying to close them into the business. That's not what I'm trying to do. I don't want to close anybody into the business because I'll have to close them again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. No, I want somebody who wants it as much as I do. And so I want to put them through the test so that they know what they're going to be doing. They're going to be doing this. This is the game. Okay, and you play football, well, you wear certain helmets and you chase a particular angle of a ball, or a design of a ball. And, if you play basketball, you shoot them into hoops. If you whatever your game is, this is the game. You want to be a millionaire? Well, you're going to have to move a whole lot of these across here. You want to sell one product? You're going to have to move fewer, but you're going to have to move them across the pipeline. That is it. Okay. And so from the responsibility standpoint, I make certain they know the only way to not sell one product is insufficient quantity across the pipeline. I make certain the only way to not recruit one person is insufficient quantity across the pipeline. That is my big thing. I don't exaggerate. And I also tell them what it actually takes. And I include that every business in the world does this. And so if you say, oh, well, I don't want to do this, well, then you're going to have to hire someone in order to do this. And how are you going to hire someone to do this? You're going to recruit them. Okay. So one way or another, you're going to have to do the pipeline, even if it's to recruit somebody to do the pipeline. Right. And so it's just kind of funny to me that somebody kind of gets this whole idea that if they show the business to somebody and then that person doesn't succeed, then they're on the hook for it. But they're only on the hook for it if they didn't have this agreement between the two of them and say, hey, you and I are going to go to the gym together and we're going to work out. All right. If I quit, it doesn't mean that you don't want to get fit or that you don't have the right to keep on going and get fit. And if you quit, it doesn't mean that I'm going to quit. It just means that I may keep going. In other words, as long as that is understood, you'll play the game for a long time and you can be very successful with it. All right. So I hope that helps ease your mind, change your operating basis if you need to in order to get that dialed in. This is mine. You can have your own set of engagement rules, but as long as both sides know it, that's what's called an agreement. And I believe that's what everybody's life is built upon in the interactions with other people. So I appreciate you watching this video. If you like it, if you appreciate this work, please give me a thumbs up on this and also share it with anybody who you think could get value out of it. And if you haven't subscribed, you might think about doing so. Thanks so much for watching.